In going about our merrymaking this time of year, let us set aside some time to acknowledge the true reason for the season by showing love and appreciation to others around us, our families, our friends, children, and the elderly. Simply sharing your time to make it a joyous and peaceful period is a good enough gift for Christmas. On the pages today, we zoom in on the dangers you will avoid by staying away from tobacco smoke. We'll also be in the kitchen showing you how to prepare your ham for the Christmas dinner. Plus, there's much more to come, so stay with us.
My mother taught me how to work for what I want. And if you don't work for it, then you don't deserve it.
They always tell me, be yourself. Don't try to be like others.
They help me through tough times, good time, bad time, they're always there for me.
Once the family is good, teach the children the right things, then them can grow up on the right.
Tobacco smoking is addictive, and once you are hooked, this silent killer eats away your money and your life, rewarding you only with an early death. But the Public Health Tobacco Control Regulations is here to reverse that unhealthy habit. Here's more. Gains are expected for Jamaicans in the long term as people become more aware and conform to the ban on smoking in public places. These smoking restrictions are an important step towards reducing the health risks as well as the financial strain on the individual and the public purse. It's predicted that cancers and cardiovascular diseases are expected to be reduced in the next 3 to 5 years as a result of this control measure. And so far, support has been encouraging.
I am pleased to note that the smoking ban regulations enjoys 83% support among you, the members of the Jamaican public.
And the public will be able to breathe easier in a number of areas. These include public transportation, workplaces, government buildings, health facilities, sport and recreational facilities for use by the public, educational institutions, areas specifically for use by children, and places of collective use such as bus stops. While the restriction puts a stop to smoking in these places, it is hoped that those who smoke will be encouraged to quit the habit and potential smokers won't start in the first place. However, those who choose to light up may still do so, as long as they're not infringing on the right of others to breathe smoke-free air.
One of the things that I'm so happy about is the smokers who have been interviewed, and at least 7, 8 out of 10 are saying, I am glad for this thing because it's long time I want to stop smoke, but it's hard.
By reducing exposure to secondhand smoke, the risk of cancer and other tobacco-related illnesses will be greatly reduced. Scientists tell us that there are over 4,000 harmful chemicals in tobacco, most of which silently poison the body. Among the more lethal, arsenic, a chemical used to make rat poison, carbon monoxide released in car exhaust fumes, and nicotine used as an insecticide. The effects on the body can be immediate and can persist in the short, medium, and long term.
10% of persons who die from tobacco exposure are persons who have never smoked themselves. A national study showed that 4 out of 10 students live in homes where others smoke. Nothing can be fair about that.
It causes numerous health problems in infants and children, including severe asthma attacks, respiratory infections, ear infections, and sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS. Exposure to secondhand smoke also increases the risk of heart disease by as much as 30%. It increases the risk of having a fatal heart attack and increases a non-smoker's risk of developing lung cancer by 20 to 30%. The smoking ban also provides protection for workers on the job, which covers any space used by someone for employment purposes or in their trade or business. Fines and custodial sentences can be imposed on organizations that fail to comply with the regulations after the 6-month period from July 15, 2013, when the law came into effect. Under Section 15 of the Public Health Act, if a company breaches the regulation, a fine of up to $1 million can be imposed. The government is urging compliance and partnership as it seeks to deliver on its commitment to safeguard the nation's health and reduce premature deaths from non-communicable diseases (NCDs) by 25% by the year 2025. Statistics indicate that approximately 1 out of every 6 deaths is due to NCDs, mainly cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. Data also show that the cost to administer medical treatment for some NCDs, like cancer, averages as much as $3.6 million. With the ban on smoking in specified public places now in full effect, the improved air quality that will result will lead to reduced prevalence of NCDs. For clarification on any aspect of the ban on smoking in public places, you may call the ministry's hotline at 1-888-537-6885 or 967-0306. You may also send an email to huttonv@moh.gov.jm or adrianb@serha.gov.jm. For smokers who want to kick the habit, counseling is available through the National Council on Drug Abuse, the Jamaica Tobacco Coalition, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, and the Jamaica Cancer Society. The Ministry of Health, prohibiting smoking in specified public places, preserving the good health of the nation. Preparing a special dinner on Christmas Day is an important part of this yearly tradition. For many, that spread has to include ham. Today we'll show you how to get yours ready for the dinner table.
And all the chicken day, my try for spy. We see is which one of them is going to fry.
Hello, good day. I am Chef Williams, and I'll be showing you today how we'll be preparing a picnic ham. Now, first thing, we're going to remove it from the plastic bag, because I've seen people cooking it in the plastic bag, and trust me people, it doesn't work that way. So you remove it from the plastic bag, place it in your baking pan. Now what you really need to do is add a bit of water to this, because it will stick and burn if you don't have some moisture to help cook it. I'm going to throw at least 2 cups of water in this baking pan. Simple and easy as that. And that's the first step to start steaming off your ham. Next, start your oven up. Put it at 350. You preheat, and then you move on. When it comes up, you put your ham in. It's almost there. So you can put your ham in and close them up. Now a ham of that size is approximately 3.96 kgs, at least 8 pounds. This will take at least 15 minutes per pound. 15 times 8 there is approximately 4 hours within that range. So we're going to use at least 4 hours to steam that off. After that, then we're going to do the finishing product. Okay? So, be right back.
Oh, come, all ye faith, joyful and triumphant, oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him
chicken them a try fi spy. We see is which one of them is going to fry.
Okay, and we're back. Now, what we'll be doing is removing the skin from the ham gently, and just let it cool down a little bit before you do that. Add some cores to that. You can add some cloves if you wish, or if you don't like cloves, no problem. A little mustard is good. So just give you a little moisture, little flavor. And more flavors are always good for you. We use a bit of cinnamon sugar, which is about half a cup of cinnamon to a tablespoon, half a cup of sugar to a tablespoon of cinnamon, sorry. And you put that back in the oven to finish off. There you go. Now, after we're finished with that, we'll be dressing the ham with a little pineapple, cherries, and a little parsley. Okay, now your ham is golden brown and beautiful, just ready for eating. But before you start to eat, we need to just garnish and let your ham be more pleasant to the eyes. And you can just garnish this up with a little cherry, pineapples. You can just use some toothpicks to fasten this to your meat. There you go. A nice, well garnished ham for your Christmas.
And all the chicken them a try fi spy.
Bamboo growers, companies involved in the manufacturing of bamboo products. Get registered with the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. The BSJ is a member of the International Network for Bamboo and Rattan, and the government of Jamaica wants to develop a standard-led bamboo industry that could lead to job creation and economic growth. Companies, your products could be stamped with the regionally recognized Jamaica-made mark certification and the national certification mark. Get registered and receive quality training and international certification. For more information, call the Bureau's Special Projects Department at 926-3140 or visit the BSJ at 6 Winchester Road, Kingston 10.
Have you ever swiped your ATM or credit card and wondered what happens to your information? And have you ever been required to fill out some forms that ask for the most personal information and wondered how safe will it be? Well, nothing or anyone is ever safe, but there are things you can do to ensure your safety or protect important data. And that's what we're looking at today, the technology behind using technology safely. Data security is simply the practice of keeping data, information protected from corruption and unauthorized access to ensure privacy. The payment card industry, which includes businesses that facilitate the use of debit or credit card transactions, is one of the more vulnerable sectors. And with identity theft and credit card scams now on the increase, their job is getting increasingly difficult. But failure to put the most stringent measures in place could have serious consequences.
So let's say you're a business or an entity and you're non-compliant and there's a breach in your environment. The card brands and the acquirers will send in their forensics people, and essentially they're going to start to look at to see if you were actually compliant with the PCI DSS standard, and they're going to also see if you actually practice what is known as due diligence, if you will. So, and if they find out that you weren't essentially compliant with the PCI data security standard, or if they find out that you were sort of compliant, but you missed a lot of things, then the fines and the penalties and the costs associated with that are essentially going to be more severe with respect to those folks who have done less due diligence or actually essentially not done what they were supposed to do. If you're found to be non-compliant and there's a breach, the first thing that can happen is they can fine you up to $500,000 immediately. And there's also a breakout with respect to how you're classified as a merchant or a service provider.
Then, of course, there's the negative publicity that is likely to follow, which could mean less customers. Those customers must now contend with the dangers of their confidential information getting into the wrong hands, resulting in, for example, a huge credit card bill for shoes, clothes, furniture, and items of jewelry they never ordered. Now, as technology evolves to simplify everyday activities, so has the technology to ensure the safety of our information and identity. Three main solutions are what are called encryption, user authentication, and backup solution.
Well, encryption is just a simple method of rendering your data unreadable. So as long as the average person cannot understand your data, then we consider it encrypted. So your computer then would have to decode that data and render it readable in order for you to understand it.
Now, user authentication refers to usernames and passwords. IT experts strongly recommend that you do not share your password and that you change passwords on a regular basis. They should not be too short or easily guessed. So, no using your date of birth. That one's just too easy.
Another way of protecting your data could be by you backing up your data by data storage. We always recommend that the use of memory drives. You do not store sensitive data on your memory drives, thumb drives. So if you could, CDs or DVDs are a good pick. Otherwise, from that, you always make sure you choose a medium that you can lock away, whether physically but out of everyday use.
So technology itself, not bad. After all, it is technology and a whole heaping of common sense and caution that's going to protect us from the dangers of using the convenience of technological innovations, like your ATM card. The citizens of Trial Heights in Spanish Town will be hosting a Christmas tree lighting competition this Saturday, December 21, at the community center starting at 5:30 p.m. There will be prizes and surprises. The best decorated tree will be awarded a trophy. Come out and give your support during this Yuletide season. The Maypen New Testament Youth Department, in collaboration with Sam Wisdom, invites you to an evening of excellent music this Sunday, December 22 at 6:30 p.m. Come out to our church ground, 57 Manchester Avenue, Maypen, for this special event. Are you creative? Enter the Digital Jam 3.0 mobile apps competitions. Deadline for submitting the concepts is December 31, 2013. For more information, visit digitaljam3.0 at live.com and at www.facebook.com/digitaljam3. Send us your events for broadcast on the JIS Community Notice Board. Call 922-868022 or send an email to cbishop@jis.gov.jm. Family gatherings, the feast, church services, the parties, activities we all look forward to over the holidays. Outer Road today, we asked persons what they love most about Christmas, as well as how they show love at this time of year.
Christmas is a time of caring and sharing. Care for each other, look out for each other, and no rich and poor, everybody now, man.
Well, what I like about Christmas is the Christmas carols. You know, Christmas is all about Christ. They celebrate the birth of Christ. I love the decorations. It's a time of joy and peace. Even if you don't have any money, there's just this joy in your soul.
They could give what they have at home, or they could invite someone over to their house and share something with them.
Christmas is all about coming together and sharing things.
You don't have to buy expensive gifts, and so you can just come together as one big family and celebrate Christmas. Buy anything you can afford, don't put your hat where it can't reach.
Health Minister announced changes for tobacco control regulation. Growth in tourist arrivals expected to pass the 2 million mark, and the Senate passed a bill to give businesses increased access to credit. We recap those and other top stories in our News of the Week.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Jamaica is now poised to receive a $30.8 million drawdown from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. This comes as the fund's executive board confirmed on December 18 that the country had passed the second review of its economic performance under the extended fund facility arrangement. The IMF's deputy managing director and acting board chair says Jamaica's overall program implementation under the extended fund facility remains strong. For the first time, government has utilized the trade compensation arrangement under the Petrocaribe agreement with Venezuela. Through a deal with Carib Cement, the first batch of 20,000 tons of clinker was loaded onto this vessel for route to the South American country. From now until April 2014, 100,000 tons valued at $8.5 million will be shipped. The trade arrangement is aimed at reducing Jamaica's $2.5 billion oil debt with Venezuela.
I would like to urge other Jamaican manufacturers to access this trade compensation mechanism so that more Jamaican goods and services will enter the Venezuelan market.
The first 48 houses under the revamped inner city housing program have been handed over to residents of Majesty Gardens. At Wednesday's function, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller encouraged residents to keep their homes and community clean, beautiful, and prosperous.
Let Majesty Gardens be a model of inner city development. You can do it, and I'm expecting you to do it, and I know you can. Do it for your children. Do it for yourself.
At a cost of $172 million, Phase 1 of the development consisted of 16 three-bedroom and 32 two-bedroom apartment units.
The health of Jamaican people remains non-negotiable, and we will not relent on this. Therefore, despite the concessions we have made, the ban on smoking in specified public places will remain in place.
As he announced changes to the tobacco control regulations Tuesday, the health minister revealed that the list of previously announced specified public places where smoking is banned has been expanded. It, however, excludes parking lots, gateways, and driveways, and businesses will be permitted to have outdoor smoking areas that meet certain conditions. Other changes include removing homes and private vehicles used for employment purposes from the prohibitions that apply to workplaces. And while graphic health warnings remain a requirement for tobacco product labels, it's no longer required for individual product units. The minister said also that the fines for individuals who breach the regulations would be lowered.
Persons found in breach of the tobacco regulations will not be given a criminal record. However, the sanctions imposed will ensure compliance.
Effective January 6, the minimum wage for a 40-hour work week will be $5,600, coming from $5,000. The amount paid to industrial security guards will also increase from approximately $7,300 to more than $8,000. Security guards will also see a higher rate for their laundry and firearm premium allowances. Labor and Social Security Minister Derek Kelly told Parliament Tuesday that Cabinet approved the increases on Monday.
The minimum wage is the absolute floor below which employers must not pay. This country of men and women of conscience in business. And I'm strengthening the appeal to all the men and women of conscience who run business in this country and have the ability to pay more,
Government is receiving nearly $50 million in support to manage the reintegration of deportees into the Jamaican society. The National Security Ministry and British High Commission have signed a memorandum of understanding to improve the capacity of the deportee monitoring unit to the tune of $48 million.
Helping us to strengthen our capacities as far as the current system involving the reception, processing and monitoring of deported individuals.
The project started in November of this year and will continue until April 2015. The Labour and Social Security Ministry has launched its revamped National Workplace Policy on HIV and AIDS. In February of this year, Parliament approved the white paper, which is intended to inform regulations on HIV. Labour and Social Security Minister Derek Kellier says the ministry is currently engaging the services of a draftsman to develop these regulations.
The intention is to begin public consultations on these regulations in February of 2014. We have also engaged a consultant to develop a protocol for managing HIV in instances of overseas employment. And we are working at ensuring that our menu of social services are sensitive to the needs of persons with HIV and do not contain any loopholes for HIV-related discrimination.
And finally, the winter tourist season is expected to push stopover arrivals for this year to more than 2 million. Tourism and Entertainment Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil says preliminary estimates for January to November show that some 1.8 million persons have already vacationed in Jamaica.
We anticipate that the country will earn close to $2 billion this year. We're encouraged by the number of advance bookings and the excitement that brand Jamaica still generates.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
Prevent overfishing. Give our marine resources room to replenish. Protect valuable marine species from extinction. Fish sanctuaries have been created to do just that. These designated protected areas for fish and other marine life help to breed, grow, and maintain a healthy population. No one is allowed in a fish sanctuary. It is illegal. Offenders will be arrested and their fishing equipment and catch confiscated. Allowing our marine and seafood population to grow means more catch later and food security for all. We've come to the close of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, but as we go about our business, let's be courteous and disciplined, especially on our roads. Stay safe and don't forget, we value your feedback, so drop us a line. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or follow us on Twitter @JIS News. On behalf of the team here at the JIS, I'm Samantha Allen, wishing you joy and peace. Join us again tomorrow. Until then, take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.